What's good? What's good? I am back. Yours truly, the one and only Paul Pickett. Paul Pickett podcast. It's like what time is it? It's about going on 6 a.m. in the morning. So we'll go ahead and get a podcast out the way because we got a pre-record for YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram TV, and the audio version as well, which goes to Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Deezer, TuneIn, Slacker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Player FM, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, and much more. Um, Before we get started, don't forget my podcast is sponsored by Promo Palace LLC at promopalace.biz. If you need online marketing promotions for your music, your product, your brand, or your service, check out promopalace.biz. If you're a dog lover, like I am, you're a cat lover, animal rights activist, you like t-shirts and hoodies like I do, please check out New Litter Apparel at newlitter.com. That's NEWLITTER.com. Also for Shizzle, I got a shout out Dizzlebrand.com. Dizzle, just add ice. Dizzle on ice. Step into the future, Dizzlebrand.com. Check them out. They got a dozen recipes on there. Also, you can follow them on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and much more. Before we get started, let me go over some NBA scores. We had a nice amount of games last night. Miami Heat beat the Orlando Magic. Who could have figured? Denver beat the Atlanta Hawks, which ain't balling out like last year. Who could have figured? Golden State beat the Boston Celtics, which are struggling. Who could have figured? Milwaukee lost to the Pelicans. Who would have figured that? I mean, Pelicans did ball. Everybody balled out though. You had like three players with 20-something points on the Pelicans last night. Devontae Graham balled out. Brandon Ingram balled out, and Jonas Valanciunas balled out, of course. And I don't know why the Grizzlies got rid of him. Utah lost to San Antonio. Lakers lost to Minnesota. My Charlotte Hornets got spanked by the Portland Trailblazers. Of course, Dame put up a 40-piece wing dinner, as Big Perk would say. And let me pull up the score. I can't really see the score. And of course, the Grizzlies waxed the Kings. I mean, the Grizzlies been balling out without Ja Morant. They got a nice, solid squad going on over there. Everybody knows they roll, and they play within a role. Let me go over my standings. Right now, Power Picks is pretty much the same. But, oh yeah, there's the NFL score we got to get into. Who was it? Kansas City beat the Chargers, which is going to shake up my Paul's Power Picks, which would be early Sunday morning. I'll be giving out my Power Picks, and then I'll give them out again Monday. But that's going to shift up my Paul's Power Picks a lot and whatnot. Let me get into this first little topic of the day. Nets allow Kyrie Irving to return for road games. I mean, it can help. Can Kyrie help? I mean, if he's playing the road games, I mean, it definitely can help. You know, James Harden is not the typical James Harden. I'm pretty sure when Kyrie gets out there, he's going to be the typical Kyrie. I mean, Kyrie's a walking bucket with a blindfold over his eyes. I mean, he's the greatest finisher for a little guy I've ever seen at the rim. He's pure mid-range shooter, good jump shot shooter. I mean, he's not Steph Curry great, but Kyrie's great. I mean, he's got probably the greatest handles ever, and probably the greatest finisher at the rim. And he's a pure shooter. I mean, there's nothing more to say, man. He's the real deal. Him coming back definitely can help. The only thing I'm wondering about is playoff time. Is he going to get vaccinated? Because come playoff time, I'm going to tell you right now, New York ain't about to be changing no mandates for Kyrie Irving. I can tell you that right now. New York is not changing no mandates for Kyrie. New York's got probably the most strict mandates in America for COVID. Them and I don't know. Wow, yeah, just them. Namely them. They got the strictest mandates for COVID in the United States, man. Do you think they're actually going to change it with Kyrie Irving? So what's going to happen playoff time? Is he just going to give in and get the vaccination or not? Because if he doesn't, I mean, this won't be a good look if he actually just plays the road games and can play all time. He doesn't get vaccinated, and I'm totally against forcing people to get vaccinated. But if you want to play ball in New York, you want to play home games, and you want to play in the playoffs. I mean, how's it going to look if he's in the playoffs and he's only playing the road games? That'd be very pathetic. Like that'd be so pathetic, man. That'd be embarrassment for that franchise. It'd be pathetic, And yeah, so I mean, I understand why they're doing it. They need to try to get Kyrie back. So this is them giving in, compromising. At first, they reneged. At first, they was like, no, we don't want no part time worker here. Now they see that without Kyrie, they ain't coming out the East. That's what this is all about. The Nets see that they're not coming out the East without Kyrie. It's not happening. James Harden is not the same James Harden. KD is KD. I mean, and he's definitely getting overlooked. But you got Joe Harris hurt. You got these health and safety protocols that got players going in and out, which are really BS. All these health and safety protocols, a lot of them are BS. You got dudes, they don't even play, and they don't even got COVID. And then the team loses because one of their best players is out. But I don't know. It's just the Nets giving in. They know they can't win in the East without Kyrie. They know Milwaukee is better than them. A healthy Milwaukee Bucks is better, especially since whatchamacallit put up a 25-piece wing dinner last night. Grayson Allen and Drew Holiday put up a 40-piece wing dinner. They're definitely better. All right, we'll talk about this next topic. I noticed a lot of people talk about Lakers trading Russell Westbrook. I'm going to tell you right now, Russell Westbrook is not the problem. And there's no way I'm trading Russell Westbrook before I trade Anthony Davis right now. Anthony Davis is the problem with the Lakers. Anybody that watches basketball, knows basketball, has seen clearly. I mean, what did Anthony Davis put up last night? A 9-point game. Russ put up 14. Anthony Davis didn't even hit double figures in scoring. Anthony Davis is not balling out. He's one of the most inefficient scorers in the league right now. I mean, he's just taking bad shots. He doesn't seem like he's putting a ton of effort into it. It almost seems like he's got his championship. Now he's good to go. But that's not good enough for cats like LeBron. That's not good enough for cats like Westbrook, who ain't even got this yet. That's not good enough for cats like Carmelo, who ain't even got one yet. I'm pretty sure Dwight Howard wants another one. Dwight Howard with 2 championships. That's a hell of a lot better career than a Dwight Howard with 0 championships. And he's already got one. Dwight Howard wants another. You best believe that. You think DeAndre Jordan doesn't want his first championship? You best believe he does. There's a few vets on there that never. You think Wayne Ellington don't want his first chip? You think Rondo don't want another one? Rondo wants another. Hell yeah, Rondo. Hell yeah, Rondo wants his 3rd ring. 2 with the Lakers and 1 with the Celtics. Hell yeah. 80. If you talk about trading anybody, it's got to be Anthony Davis. He's always hurt. He doesn't show like he's really wants it. He doesn't not willing to play center. Apparently, that's why they brought Russell Westbrook in, so he would move more to the center. He's apparently not willing to do that. But I'm not trading Anthony Davis before I trade Westbrook. Just off of effort, I'm not trading Russell Westbrook before I trade Anthony Davis. Russell Westbrook is putting way more effort into it. Russell Westbrook is actually starting to seems like he's figuring things out. The game before last, they clearly won because of Russell Westbrook. Assist to LeBron, dunk in the middle. Westbrook hits the three. AD hits Westbrook for the layup. Westbrook assists on the final. Like every four straight baskets was Westbrook, like major involvement, you know? And this is the thing about Westbrook. When he goes to a new team, like he went to the Rockets at first, it was an adjustment. First half of the season, he had to adjust. Second half of the season, he was balling out like crazy. When he went to the Wizards last year, first half of the season, he had to figure it out. Him and Bradley Beal was deferring a lot. Coming the end of the season, Russell Westbrook is the reason they made it to the playoffs. Russell Westbrook is the reason they made it. Like, he balled the freak out, man, second half of the season. And I expect him to ball out second half of this season, so. And I don't know that they need to trade Anthony Davis either, but if you're talking about trading Russell Westbrook, the AD got to go. Just off of effort alone. I've not seen enough effort from Anthony Davis compared to what Russell Westbrook is putting in, man. Russell Westbrook wants to make this work badly. Trust me, man. I don't personally know Russell Westbrook, but I know enough about Russell Westbrook to know that he wants to make this work badly. Russell Westbrook wants a chip. So that's what I think about trading Russell Westbrook. If anything, they need to trade probably THT for somebody while he's still got value because I don't know. He's not producing that much. He's hurt right now. He's still young and he's still got to play kind of behind LeBron. So, all right, what do we got next? We got this one. This is a big deal. Dion Sanders lands number one defensive back, and ESPN has him number two overall in the nation amongst all position players, but some have him as number one. Deion Sanders has landed what could be the number one overall football player, the number one. I mean that is huge. That is huge. I mean for HBCs it's huge. HBCUs actually is what historical black colleges and universities. It's huge. It's huge. It's not totally leveled the playing field, but the realms of possibility are amazing. Like they could definitely level the playing field. And this is the thing, man. I know a lot of people always think that long as a program could just get more money, that these things fix themselves. No, the only thing that fixes a program is hiring the right coach. And yes, it could take a certain amount of money to do that sometimes, and a lot of times probably, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes you just find. I mean, like when Clemson hired, like Clemson football, for most of my lifetime, has been god awful. Not even average. They've been below average. They've been below average. I mean, Tar Heel football was probably better than Clemson football. Tar Heel football, for most of my lifetime, has been much of nothing. When we had Mac Brown, that's when we were popping. And that's the thing. Mac Brown turned our program over, and he left Texas for more money. But he turned our program over with lesser money than what Texas paid him. And I don't know. I don't even know that he totally turned Texas around like they expected. But it really starts with hiring the right coach. Dabo Sweeney's of the world's, that come in and just change the fortunes and can bring in recruits. Like if the coach can't bring in recruits, I mean, he could be the best football coach on the field all he wants. He's not going to compete with, the Alabamas, the Ohio States, the Georgias, the Michigans of the world. These teams always usually get the top guys, and the fact that and what's really great about Dion doing this too is Dion took this player, had this player switch. The player was supposed to originally go to Florida State, his alma mater, and the player basically he talked the player into going his way, man. I mean, this is a big day, man. This is a big day. Like nobody will be talking about college football signings except Alabama did this and Georgia did this. All the top schools getting all the top players again. The only talk was Dion getting possibly the number one or number two overall college football player coming out of high school. Definitely the number one defensive back. Number one defensive back, definitely. And Dion is a cornerback. He was the defensive back. So this is a big deal. The guy, and this is the thing. The guy got some deal with some sports betting, one of the sports betting sites. I can't remember off the top of the head. So it doesn't really matter where he goes. He's going to get paid regardless. He's going to get paid regardless. Um, this idea that if he doesn't go to Alabama, he's not going to go high in the drafts. I mean, if he's the best D back, it's going to show. It's going to show because he's going to clearly dominate. His division if he's the best D back. And it's just a big day, man. I'm so happy for Dion. I'm so happy for HBCUs. So happy for I think it's Jackson State picking up Travis Hunter, number one overall. We're gonna say it. He's the number one overall player. ESPN has him at number two, but ESPN, they're not the end all say all. They're not the end all be all say all. Like this is just a big deal, man. It's a big deal for historical black colleges and universities that they land this player at Jackson State. And in it, because this is the thing. Somebody always has to be the first. This is, I don't know, this is probably the first time ever that they landed the number one high school football player to a HBCU. So somebody always has to be the first. Somebody has to be the leader, and others will follow. Because if everybody just, that's the thing. That's how it works. Most followers they're not leaders. If they were, they would be the first to do it. But they'll see somebody did it, then they'll follow through. Especially if it works. If it works perfect for him. He still got the sports bet deal. Because now you can make money in college sports. And he goes to a college where he's the number one defensive back coming in out of high school, and he's going to be coached by the greatest defensive back ever. It's really a great move for him. It's really a great move for Travis Hunter to go to Jackson State to be coached by the greatest defensive back ever, and when he's the best coming out of high school right now, man. It's smart. It's genius. You know, he's still getting his money for the sports betting. He goes to Jackson State. Dion is the greatest cornerback, defensive back ever. He's the best coming out of high school. Dion's gonna get him right, man. Dion's gonna get him pros. He's probably gonna dominate the division. Yeah, it's great. It's a great day, man. It's a great day for not just HBCUs. I think it's a great day for college football in general. I really do. This is a great story, man. All right, let me get to my last topic of the day. Biden skips out on Army versus Navy game, which is political, plus it's sports related. And rumor is due to the fact that he didn't want to hear "Let's Go Brandon" chants. I mean, you're the president of the United States, man. Get over it. Donald Trump was hated on every single day of his office. It was called a racist every single day, white supremacist. Any word they could think of, asshole, jerk, uh, a sexual predator, whatever. They every word name in the book, man. He didn't cry and get all sensitive about it when like I can't show up at some spot. No, he'll show up at a spot and just talk smack back, talk shit back. And yes, Donald Trump's mouth gets him in trouble. Donald Trump's from New York. New Yorkers just don't back down easy. If anything, anybody knows anything about New Yorkers, and apparently you don't. New Yorkers just don't back down and just take shit from any and everybody, man. That's not in their DNA, man. So, I mean, you expected any different. And this is the thing. People knew who Donald Trump was before he was elected. They knew. I think they were just so shocked. Everybody expected Hillary to get to win because she was more experienced. But once again, somebody has to be the first to change the game. Like Steph Curry changed the game with 3 pointers. Trump changed the game where you could get voted in to president with zero political experience. And there's plenty of politicians I've seen that don't have a lick of common sense, anyways. So, you know, but yeah, Biden. It's so lame. We're such in such a sensitive society where somebody calls you names and you turn into this big old crybaby. You can't take it. You act like you're being attacked. You know, somebody calls you names. You're being attacked. You're being oppressed. It's just names, man. It's freaking names. Names can't hurt you unless you let them. People can't stress you out unless you let them. People can't piss you off unless you let them. It's just really weak minded to me, man. Like, when I first got into the business world, I promote musicians, first of all. A lot of rappers. Rappers are, first of all, the most difficult clients and customers in the business world to deal with. Rappers will threaten you over music promotion. They'll threaten to shoot you and come to your house and all types of stuff. Like, y'all ain't got to deal with that in y'all's little corporate culture. In the music promo world, back when everybody was selling Twitter followers and we didn't know no better, and Twitter followers would drop. Rappers would threaten you over that. I'll come to your house and beat you up over some Twitter followers dropping. Okay, you know. Did I? At first, yeah, I used to fall into the traps. Used to get upset. Used to get sensitive about it. Then it came to a point where I can't let these people stress me out. They're not allowed to stress me out. You don't get to stress me out unless I allow you to stress me out. So I don't allow stress to come into my life. I don't deal with stressful people. I don't I've done everything in my business power to make my business stress free. And typically it is. So people calling you names, that's all it is you just choose to be sensitive, be a crybaby, stress over nothing. If somebody isn't threatening your life, harming you, assaulting you, I mean, what are we talking about here? It's about words. There's a thing called actions speak louder than words. But apparently, y'all sensitive little people in society think words speak louder than actions. Y'all cry over every little thing, every little name calling. Get over it, man. Man up, woman up. And all you women that want to be man and transgender to men, man up too. I mean, damn, if you're a woman that wants to be a man, guess what? You need to man up like the rest of the men. Sensitive ass men, man. Sensitive ass people, anyways, man. My father committed suicide when I was 5 years old, man. Y'all better get over this shit, man. Y'all little crybabies crying like Biden because I can't go to the Army Navy game because somebody's gonna yell, "Let's go, Brandon." First of all, this is how lame Biden is, and people on the left, like that. You get offended that somebody shouts, "Let's go, Brandon," just because, like, "Let's go, Brandon." Yes, it can mean. Apparently now it can mean fuck Joe Biden, but before, you know, the the incident that happened at the game where people thought they were shouting "Let's go, Brandon," they were yelling "Fuck Joe Biden." Before that incident, "Let's go, Brandon" just meant "Let's go, Brandon." Apparently, it has a new secret meaning because of the whole incident, you know. But if he was at a sports game and, you know, there was a kid on the team that's name is Brandon, and he started shouting "Let's go, Brandon," it wouldn't really mean fuck Joe Biden at that time. Like, and if Joe Biden's not in the building, how can it mean F Joe Biden? I mean, you know, and I understand that's like the far radical left. I mean, right, that probably came up with that. I don't know who came up with that. All I know is they made a ton of money off of it. Um, it's somewhat genius. It's somewhat genius, to be honest with you. It really is. It's somewhat genius. But the fact that you getting sensitive over it is really lame to me. It's so childish, so kiddie. It's time to man up, grow up, you know. But Poopy Pants Biden, Poopy Pants Joe, Sleepy Joe, you know, he's a little kid, sharts his pants and cries, can't go to the Army Navy game because somebody might yell, "Let's go, Brandon." You know, I would, to be honest with you, man, I would be embracing it. I would be embracing it. It's like when Fresh and Fit gets all. Yeah, that's the thing. Fresh and Fit is they might as well have Joe Biden on their podcast because they are a little sensitive too. When they get sensitive, when people call them out on their podcast, I would be embracing the fact that I'm the talk of the town. I would embrace it because to be honest with you, I embrace being the bad guy. I embrace being the bad guy. I'm not in it to be the good guy. I'm not in the podcast to be the good guy. I'm not in the music business promotion to be the good guy. Like I have to school my clients a lot and put them in their place. I'm not gonna sugarcoat nothing for nobody. I'm not gonna lie. I'll be honest, and sometimes I'm gonna be harsh. You know, because in my business, I'm in a harsh business anyways. The music business is a harsh business, so you can't be all sensitive. You know, you can't be all sensitive in the music business. Dudes get called out in the music business every day. You know what they do when people call them out? They embrace it. They embrace it and they retaliate. Embrace it and retaliate. Hit back. That's all you can do, man. Joe Biden wants to sit there and cry and, you know, try to have a secret meeting with the media and say, man, can y'all please tone it down? Because, y'all being a little rough on me. Y'all going to mess up my, you know, re-election campaign. I can tell you right now, Joe Biden ain't no chance in hell Joe Biden gets another term. That's done. 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 Out. Over with. Gone. It's gone. Not a chance in hell Joe Biden does the second term. I don't care who's running against him. They will beat Joe Biden. Joe Biden only won the election because they didn't want to vote for the other guy. Guess what? Donald Trump only won the election because they didn't want to vote for the other guy. I mean, a girl. My bad, girl. They didn't want to vote for Hillary. That's the only reason Trump got in is because they didn't want to vote for Hillary. Nobody, no, the world isn't ready for a woman president. And I don't know that it will be in my lifetime. I don't know that a woman that will ever be ready for a woman president in my lifetime. You know, I just don't know. I'd have to be honest with you, I have to see like a woman 4-star, 5-star general before I can see a president. I really do. I have to see a woman 4-star, 5-star general before I see a president. That's me personally. And that's the only reason Trump got in is because they didn't want to vote for the other girl. Then the only reason Biden got elected is because they didn't want to vote for Trump. And the same thing's going to happen with Biden. Biden is not getting back in office. It's done and over with. It's done and over with. And Kamala Harris don't stand a chance either. They're not even going to let her run. She's probably going to be, to be honest with you, mark my words. If Biden runs for second term, Kamala Harris will be replaced as vice president. She was only named vice president because people on the left pressured Biden into getting a female vice president and a female of color. He didn't want Kamala Harris. I mean, he literally ran against her and crushed her in the Democratic primaries. Like, she didn't stand a chance. You know, he didn't want her. That's how politics works. He needed to get the backings of the AOCs and Joy Reids and all these other far left radical politicians. And the only way he was going to do that is to appease them by letting Kamala Harris be the vice president. That's how politics always works. They always bring in a vice president that they feel like could get a specific majority of a specific vote. That's what politics is. It's give and take. It's give and take. They don't really, they're not really doing it in nobody's best interest but theirs to get elected. They're going to do only what's in their best interest to get elected and then get reelected. And that's it. They're politicians, man. You know, we got to stop being delusional about the expectations of crooked politicians that y'all vote in. Because I don't vote in politicians. I don't vote for politicians. Not voting in politicians. If I'm gonna vote for politicians, it's gonna be like people like Jesse the Body, you know, people like Kane from wrestling, people who really are like politicians for the people. They don't really have any political interest when they start running. Like I could tell you, Jesse the Body Ventura, he didn't run for governor of Minnesota and win. It had because of anything it had to do with lining his pockets, you know. And very every now and then, every now and then you got some honest politicians. I feel like I ain't gonna lie, I feel like Ron DeSantis is a man of the people. At least the Florida people. He his job is to work for the people of Florida and their best interest. And from what I see, he does have their best interest. Christy Domes, South Dakota, my grandfather's state, is another one. You know, and I almost feel like Arnold at first really did want to do a good job and wasn't really, doing it just to try to help his Hollywood friends out with policies or anything like that. I think like Arnold really took it serious at first. I just don't think he knew what he got himself into until he got himself into it. you know. But usually the politicians like Kane who become mayors of like small towns and stuff like that, those are the guys that they really, really, really try to do the job for the people. They don't really care about lining their pockets but those are very few. You're talking about like a handful, but there's tons and tons of politicians, you know, tons and tons of politicians, and we have these high expectations of expect them to be super honest and stuff like that. When all of them are doing all these things, they basically, you know, they team up with people they don't even like. Like I would never let nobody be a vice president under me if I didn't like them. If I didn't truly think highly of their character. There's no way I'm going to be president and I'm going to just put somebody vice president just to appease this crowd over here. No, is this person decent? What's their character like? Are they truly honest? Or are they just another scumbag politician? You know what I'm saying? But that's how politics works. You know, we got to appease this crowd over here, so we got to do, we got to give in to them, we got to give them this so they'll back us. They don't really truly want to back us, but if we give them this little thing, it's so disingenuous. Politics is so disingenuous. It really is. And that's what Biden not skipping out the Army. I mean, presidents have a history to go in. Barack Obama went to the Army Navy game. It's like tradition, you know. But he can't go because he might hear some "Let's go, Brandon" shouts. Whoop he do, man. Get over it. If you go cry, grab some tissue, wipe your nose, and keep it moving, man. You're the president of the freaking United States, man. And you can't go somewhere because somebody might say F you. Every president, I hope, is Biden that dumb to think every president is just loved by every single buddy in America? Everybody ain't love Clinton. President I should have voted for, Clinton. The only time, it's probably the most unifying president that I can remember of my lifetime. I know people say Reagan, but I'm going to go with Clinton. Clinton was pretty unifying. White guy plays the sax, loves jazz music, puts his office in Harlem. Come on, man. I mean, Clinton was definitely the first, like, real cool president that I remember. Barack did take it to another level. I will say Barack took it to another level. Like, but, the thing with Barack is, Ronald Reagan was the biggest, like, actor president, or biggest actor turned president before Barack, but Barack is clearly the biggest actor turned president. Barack is the greatest actor of any president. There's no president that can, like, Barack should have every acting award you can think of, man. He should have greatest acting president ever, man. You talking about being bamboozled? I voted for Barack. And why did I vote for Barack? Why did I vote for Barack? This is gonna sound crazy of why I voted for Barack. Because I thought he was actually gonna do something for black people. I thought Barack Obama was actually gonna do something for black people. Like my friends. But he did nothing for black people. And that's why I voted for Barack Obama. I didn't vote for Barack Obama because, I just wanted to be part of history of, electing in the first black president. No, because if I didn't think Barack Obama, like, if I wasn't sold on his acting job, if he didn't win me over with his acting job, I would have never voted. If Barack Obama would have been talking like, if he would have been like running a campaign like Jesse Jackson or something, I would have never voted for Barack Obama, probably. I probably would have never voted. Barack Obama just seemed like the nicest, most intelligent president ever. He's definitely one of the most intelligent presidents ever. Is he the most nicest? It's the cover up, man. Deep down inside, man, he's it's it's all part of the act. It's all part of the show, man. Because to be honest with you, this division in America started on his last term. And then it carried over to the Trump administration, where Trump basically, I do agree with the guy on the valuetainment that Trump basically poured, gasoline over a already started fire, but Trump didn't start the fire. That fire started during Barack Obama's administration, and it carried over, and Trump just poured a bunch more gasoline over it, and he did make it worse. And Biden pretty much did the same damn thing. Biden pretty much even poured more gasoline on top of the gasoline that Trump poured on it. So basically, the fire starts during during Barack's last term. Trump comes in, pours gasoline on it, and then Biden comes in and actually pours jet fuel over the gasoline, and just makes it even worse, and depending on who our next president is, it could just be more gasoline poured on it. But people try to blame this division totally on Trump. Stop it. This division started towards the end of Barack Obama's term. The fire had already started. It carried over to the next administration. Who's to say that Hillary wouldn't have poured gasoline on it too? Hillary might have poured gasoline on it too, you know. But damn, you can't blame somebody for pouring gasoline. Can't blame somebody for starting a fire when all they did was pour gasoline on a fire that was already started. All you could do is blame them for making it worse. You can blame Trump for making it worse, but if you want to blame somebody for starting a fire in the first place, you need to blame Barack Obama. And Biden is not innocent either. He's poured jet fuel over the gasoline that Trump's poured on it, and whoever's next might pour rocket fuel over the jet fuel. Who knows, man? All I know is this country is more divided than ever, and it doesn't help when the far radical left is painting everybody who voted for Trump as a white supremacist or racist, which is bullshit. Because there was a lot of black people who voted for Trump. Are they white supremacists? Are the Latin people white supremacists? Like, but that's the way of the world now. False narratives, division, hate, no rational conversations. Because you can't have a rational conversation with a person you can't convince to change their mind in any kind of way. Like, if you got your mind made up one way and I got my mind made up another way, if we can't have a rational conversation for one of us to convince the other that one of us is wrong, we'll get nowhere. You'll get nowhere. And that's all that's going on right now. You got both sides on the far right and the far left pretty much have their minds made up. It's only us in the middle, in the gray area, that are willing to have reasonable conversations and not totally have our mind made up that it can't be changed, that there's nothing you could do to convince somebody that they might be wrong. When somebody always thinks they're right and there's nothing you can do to convince them that they're wrong, because I'm a business guy. There's plenty of times I come into issues on my website, and I have to go pay people to help me with these issues. So what do I look like arguing with a person who I gotta pay that knows more about this issue than me of how to do the issue or how not to do the issue? No, I just pay the people and let them do their thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm convinced I can't fix it, and I'm not in the business of excuses. I'm in the business of solutions, and that's another problem with America and politics. We just got too many excuses. There's just too many excuses being made, but nobody ever comes up with solutions. You know, you got an excuse of why crime is bad, excuse of why people are killing people with guns, excuses for this, excuses for that. Never any solutions, man. And I don't accept excuses in life. I only accept solutions. Well, once again, I want to thank you for tuning in. About to have to get off here, make me some breakfast. It's about that time. Need me some eggs and some bacon or some eggs and sausage, whatever, and some toast on the side. But I want to thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, Paul Pickett, for the Paul Pickett Podcast. This is episode 89, 11 more episodes. We're going to do a press release for the 100th episode, and what should be done, and I figure in the next couple of weeks, we should be done. I'll probably ramp up the episodes and try to get them done before this year ends out. So we'll go into the year with the 100th episode of the Paul Pickett Podcast. And don't forget the audio version goes to Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Deezer, TuneIn, Slacker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Player FM, Podchaser, Podcast Addict, and more. Watching me live on TikTok, please hit that follow. Even if you don't hit the follow, I will follow anybody that tunes into the live TikTok stream. Don't forget the video version also goes to Instagram TV, Facebook, and YouTube. If you're on YouTube, hit that click now subscribe button. You're on Facebook, hit that like. You're on Instagram, hit that follow. And for the audio version, hit that subscribe button on whatever platform you're listening to, whether it's Apple, Spotify, Deezer, Amazon, TuneIn, Stitcher, Slacker. Don't forget, my podcast is sponsored by Promo Palace LLC at promopalace.biz. If you need online marketing promotions for your music, your product, your brand, or your service, check out promopalace.biz. Also, if you're a dog lover or a cat lover and you like t-shirts or hoodies, please check out New Litter Apparel at newlitter.com. That's NEWLITTER.com. Also, for Shizzle, I got to shout out DizzleBrand.com. Dizzle, just add ice, Dizzle on ice. Step into the future, do your Dizzle, DizzleBrand.com. Check them out. Got a bunch of recipes on there that you can mix your drinks with. Online order links. You can also follow me on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Of course, I run the Facebook myself. So please make sure you hit the like on the Facebook. Once again, I want to thank you all for tuning in. Peace, and I'm out.